Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I sure am, because the only people that win when these Twitch streamers or online influencers start fighting is the internet, right? You guys obviously win because you get entertainment out of this, and I also win because I get a video and entertainment out of this. So, last time, right, in the Pokimane saga, we talked about Fedmeister releasing his 25-page Google Doc expose on Pokimane. Well, he didn't actually release it. It was like one of his fans who got really close to him, and once she found out that Fed was gonna go down without a fight against Pokimane, she was like, no, this is unacceptable. I love Fed, and, no, I don't know that love, but, I care for Fed, and I can't let him go down like this. Now, if you're wondering how I know this information, pretty much the person who leaked the document, she came out with her own Google Doc, and Pokimane also responded to Fed's Google Doc with her own Google Doc. So we have two more Google Docs, dude. These people genuinely put more effort into this than I do into a school project, dude. But whatever, let's start with Poki's response doc, and then we'll check out Fed's fans doc. By the way, if you're not caught up with this whole drama, you can watch my previous video, or if you're too lazy, pretty much it's like Fed is like, oh, Poki was leading me on for so many years and playing with my heart, and is like an emotional manipulator, and Poki's like, nah, he was just a friend and he didn't get the message, and I fricked a guy in the room next to him. He was named Chad Steve or something. Please get the hint. But also, scissors, more like rock, dude. Alright, whatever. Make sure you're subscribed. Okay, let's begin. Intro. I've talked about my experience with Fed in the past, and I'm really disappointed that leaked and misleading messages have made it necessary for me to respond once again. So pretty much she's saying here that she doesn't really believe that the doc was leaked. She pretty much thinks that Fed leaked it purposely and, just let it roam free and gave all these fans access to it so that they would leak it. I feel forced to share my side of the story now with evidence and context to hopefully close this chapter once and for all. Knowing how much it hurts to have private convos leaked, I didn't want it to have to come to me sharing more info that is also private to Fed and my friends involved. Out of respect to their privacy, they're actually talking about respect to privacy. That's gone out the window, okay? I'll only be talking about some of the things that were already shared and what my friends are comfortable with. So Poki is saying that she's gonna put it to bed. This is gonna be like the last thing ever, but I feel like Fed is gonna want to respond to this again, and he's made like multiple Google Docs on different people in offline TV as well, so maybe he's gonna come out with that, dude. I don't know. So one of the most damning parts of Fed's document was the Yvonne situation, right? Pretty much Poki was on stream saying that Fed wanted Yvonne fired, but according to Fed's Google Doc, it seemed like Poki wanted Yvonne fired and Fed was defending her. But now, according to Poki's Google Doc, it seems like Poki actually didn't want her fired and Fed wanted her fired. So I feel like they're all like leaving out a little bit of info that makes them look good, and I feel like you should just screen record the entire phone, alright? Like, at this point, just let it all out. Because honestly, how am I supposed to believe anything from you guys when you're proven manipulators? Like, I'm not believing anything. So here she talks about Yvonne. I'd like to give context to the messages he included of me talking about Yvonne, since the leaked document attempts to imply that I was plotting against her, when this was not the case at all. I'm really disappointed that he would try to publicly pit us against each other. Are you kidding me? You pretty much, like, destroyed his life, so obviously he's gonna try to come back, right? Especially since he knows us personally and the reality of the situation, on top of what he's already put Yvonne through. The situation is also heavily impacted by the fact that Fed touched Yvonne inappropriately, which is something that OTV members weren't aware of until later. Please keep this in mind when reading the screenshots involving other house members, because they didn't know and have done everything in their power to help Yvonne since they found out. So here's some screenshots she attaches to show that Fed actually also wanted Yvonne kicked out. Goes into Yvonne's room, yo, let's think of a prank or content ideas. Immediately gets into a game of League. Smiley faces like passive aggressive, and then Poki responds with this. I leave and she says, hey, you gonna think of something, right? Yeah. Tell her, what do you think? And then Fed says, she gave me this face, I want to keep playing, so I gave her a long stare and then just walked out. I'm out here whiteboarding and I hate confrontation. Realistically, I don't think she can contribute much, but it's nice to have a human around. Okay, so it's pretty clear that even Fed wasn't too fond of Yvonne, so pretty much Poki and Fed wanted Yvonne kicked out. I wonder how Yvonne is feeling right now. She's like, Yeah, I'm a hard worker. Then Pokey attaches more screenshots. There's also this one which says, I think I talked about it with Skara, and then she puts like an arrow saying he complained to other OTV members about Yvonne. Since then, Yvonne and I have talked about it in private about what I've said and came to a relieving understanding after an apology from my end. I mean, I don't think there's like any sort of understanding between like an employer and an employee, because like you have all the power over Yvonne, right? You and Fed have all the power over Yvonne, so like obviously she's just gonna agree with whatever you're saying. It's like, okay, don't even try that. I regret the added stress we put her through. I'm sorry to both Yvonne and anyone who read my messages with Fed that may have questioned her or her work ethic. I hired Yvonne to work with me back in 2018, knowing that she was smart, thoughtful, and an overall pleasure to work with. I then personally recommended her for an in-house position at OTV and was looking forward to working with her in person. She has grown into a role at OTV and as a content creator as well, but she's now creating videos, she's getting sponsorships, like, okay, dude. Listen, I can't help but smile here because everybody's just lying and I'm loving it. Fed was my closest friend for a long time. Yeah, no more. During the OTV Taiwan trip in February 2018, we became closer and considered pursuing a relationship. This is where a lot of the flirty texts shown in Fed's document are from. A couple months later, I told him I didn't want to be more than friends around May 2018. Now, there is a problem with this because if she told him that she didn't want to be friends in May 2018, the screenshots, some of them are like at the end of 2018, right? December 2018, of her still kind of flirting. So pretty much both Pokey and Fed are kind of weird here, right? Fed's document did have screenshots to portray him better. I mean, obviously this is a terrible internet fight and they're only going to show the parts where they look good, right? Which I have no doubt in my mind Pokey's still doing as well, right? Then we have this part of saying that Fed has known to be a serial flirt. I didn't even know that was a word, but okay. I admit and take responsibility for the times that I later reciprocated and the ways in which this would have complicated their friendship. You guys know what I find really, really weird about this? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Pokey was supposedly flirting with Fed while supposedly still knowing that Fed is this guy who inappropriately touched her friend. So there's no way. Why would you flirt with someone who you kind of consider disgusting? Like, I don't know if I got the timeline wrong with the 25-page Google Doc, but that's what it seems like to me, and that's just kind of weird. I would also constantly hear the ways in which he flirted with other girls and his ships, and often saw it on his stream as well, which made any reciprocations feel casual and insignificant. Okay, again, she's saying that her messages with Fed were casual because I guess Fed was flirting with other girls as well. I mean, I need to see like video of this or whatever. It may have been naive, but it was far from how he's attempting to portray me. I mean, the fingers and the fist. So Pokey also gives context to the whole hotel text. We've got me and Lily, and it wasn't just her. So pretty much when Fed was calling her to her hotel, supposedly, it was actually a bunch of people. So that she wasn't actually calling him for frick. And then she provides a summary saying, I hear a lot of hurt feelings in Fed's statement when it comes to our friendship. I cared a lot about Fed, and I wouldn't have wanted to hurt him. Well, that's just a lie. Come on, you want him gone. His feelings are valid and a good reminder to me that what one person thinks may be going on in a friendship don't always match up with the other person's expectations. Looking back, I would have done a lot of things differently, I mean, obviously, and know for a fact that neither of us handled the situation perfectly. However, our private convos heavily lack context, and I'm not okay with how they're being misrepresented. Then Pokey provides some more context to the message of Pokey talking about Jody. She was pretty much being like petty and possessive of Fed, but then Fed also encouraged it, which he kind of left out in his Google Doc. And then we have her conclusion. Ultimately, my complicated and volatile friendship with Fed had no part in why he was kicked out of offline TV, and such private details never needed to be public. It has been extremely jarring to have my privacy violated by someone I trusted for so long. Okay, so that was Pokey's Google Doc. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Honestly, I really don't care who wins this as long as this video gets more than 200k views and you guys are having a good time, okay? Anyways, let's talk about Fed's closest fan who leaked the document. So she starts off by showing some proof that she indeed has contact with Fed. We can agree everything I share here is never shared anywhere unless A, I die, or B, I give consent, right? All past, present, and future stuff? Of course, except, not really. So over here, Fed is like, I'm disconnecting from all social media when he got exposed, and this person's like, I really wanted to help you. And yeah, they released the document. I'll do my best to make this short. I've been a fan of Fed's for over 3 years, and in that time, we became friends in a private Discord DM. Fed learned that he could trust me. Clearly not, but okay. And because of this, I knew a lot more of the truth of his life outside of streaming. When Fed got cancelled, I gave him my support, but also my disappointment, and he apologized for letting me down. We talked a lot about everything, he gave me his phone number, blah blah blah. After traveling and decompressing from the situation he was now in, he started to get caught up on everything that was said about him from his friends. He was shocked. He asked me to give him my word, and I did, and at the time, I 100% meant it. He was trusting me. He started to share things with me. Most of the text from him and Poki did not surprise me, but when he started to show me more, just like Destiny slowly started to see, I started to understand more and more, and I was also now in shock. I started to have sympathy for him, but also started to get angry. To put it lightly, what was shown and discussed in the Poki doc is 30 to 40% of what could have been included. I know 25 pages is a lot, but understand that he was coming from a place of complete mistrust by everyone. Are you actually kidding me? 25 pages is 30% of it? Oh my god. He's actually gonna come out with a 400-page book, dude. Damn. These docs were only to show his side of things and to heal those friendships he had and misunderstandings from both sides. I just want to make a few things clear. Fed never had any intention of posting any doc to the public, and at no point did he try to mislead or lie in any part of the docs. So this kind of contradicts Poki's theory of Fed just kind of leaking it because he wanted to. When this was leaked, he was furious with me. He went right to our DM and accused me. Here we have the DMs in 2020, literally 2 weeks ago, and they're still being leaked, dude. Fed, you have not learned your lesson. Oh my god. I can't believe you actually did that. Blah, 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 blah. I take matters into my own hand. You had no right to leak it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. I don't deserve any forgiveness. Don't do that ever again. You're freaking lying to me. I hope you're happy. That's all I gotta say. For 5 months, you had a goal, a direction, and in 2 phone calls, that all changed. Funny that way since you asked, and yes, I'm happy for you. I don't want to get too deep into why I decided to do this. I feel strongly that Fed and his issues with Poki were still very much affecting him. All over the 5 months he was kicked out and we spoke daily, he had clear intentions. When he finally contacted her, after 2 to 3 phone calls with Poki, that all changed. I told myself from day one I wouldn't leak it, but I had a moment of weakness and I leaked it. After those few phone calls with Poki, his whole mindset completely changed. Ooh, was that manipulation? And it became clear that he was going to take the full hit. After she was going to do very little to change the public's opinion of him, that was all based on her one stream about him. Throughout the conversations, 2 things became very clear. Fed was only interested in getting his friends back, and Poki was only interested in protecting her image. I can believe this. This is pretty believable. I knew he would know it was me. I knew he would be furious with me. I knew he would cut me off as a friend and never speak with me again, but I also knew what I was about to do was the truth, and I cared more about him and his ability to have a future and less about him as my Discord buddy. I couldn't sit by and watch this. I felt like he wasn't in a healthy mindset and was making decisions because of his issues, decisions that I knew someday, years from now, he would regret, so I leaked it. Okay, so what we understood from this is that Fed didn't actually leak the document. It was Fed's fan who really cared about him, and all in all, this is a mighty fine drama. It really shouldn't have been public. I feel like both sides have lied easily and provable, and I can't really trust anyone anymore. Clearly, both sides are not the best of people. Like, Pokimane has a history of just doing bad stuff, and Fed did leave out some context in those messages, which if he just showed, we could trust him more, but we can't now. So my only advice is not to either of them because they're too far gone, but just to you guys, grab some popcorn and enjoy the show, dude. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you did enjoy. Do subscribe if you're new or trying to get to 400k, and that would be absolutely sweet. And yeah, thanks for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.